I want to master every game from my childhood using RetroAchievements, a site that adds achievements to retro games, and today's game is... Mega Bomberman was released on the Mega Drive in 1994. We got a Mega Drive when I was just 5 years old, and this is my second favourite game on the system. It has an insanely fun multiplayer that I still play to this day, both on my own and with friends. But the biggest aspect of this game is the story mode, which, after 25 years of playing, I still haven't beaten. But that all changes today. With 40 achievements to grab, let's dive in. Mega Bomberman begins with a meteorite heading towards a planet, Planet Bomber. It shoots out 5 shots which hit Planet Bomber, the home of Bomberman. These shots destroy the spirit pictures of the planet, which somehow split it into 5 pieces. And now it's our job to put the world back together. Jumping into story mode for the first time, let me give you a quick rundown of how to play this game. Each level is filled with blocks that reflect that area's theme. So here we have flowers. We have to destroy these blocks with our bombs. The bomb explosions can travel in each direction, up, down, left, and right. So once you put a bomb down, you need to get the hell out of the way until it's exploded. Our first area of the planet to save is called Jamming Jungle, and they're not lying about the jamming part. Just listen to this music. I still love everything about this game. The visuals, music, sound effects, items, the vibes, and even the enemies. Speaking of enemies, these will be our main problem to be on the lookout for, as there are tons of them, and they come in different shapes and sizes. In Area 1-1, we have a little boxing rabbit, some robots, and 2 power crystals that we need to destroy. We start with just 1 bomb with a little bit of power, but while I'm destroying the flowers, I find my next bomb, which pops our first achievement. Too easy. For getting our first upgrade. We now have an extra bomb, meaning I can place 2 bombs down at the same time. These power-ups will stack and will last as long as I don't die. I also find a flame upgrade, which makes our bomb blast more powerful. While destroying the area, I grab another bomb, take out the rabbit, blow up the first crystal, and take out the first robot, and then find a super interesting item. It's a kangaroo, and for getting it, we get the achievement, Get a Ride. For getting the rabbit item, I'm not sure if it's a rabbit or a kangaroo, but growing up, me and my friends called these Joeys. I'm sure they have a proper name, but I'll be referring to them as a Joey. And there are 5 different ones. They all have special powers that we can use, and the pink is the best one. You know why? Because it can dance, baby. Hell yeah. Look at it go. I'm not joking. Apart from being able to use it as an extra life if we get hit, all the pink one does is friggin' dance. The other 4 are so much better, and I'll cover them when we get to them. For now, I destroyed the rest of the blocks in the way. I don't know what it is, but I can't leave a stage until I've destroyed everything in sight. It's just the way that I've always played this game. And it works out, because I might find some extra upgrades along the way. I take out the last crystal and robot, and the glass in the center shatters, revealing the first spirit picture piece for Jamming Jungle. We hit all the dead enemies with a Fortnite emote and collect the spirit picture. We restore part of the energy back into the picture to pop our next achievement. It's just the beginning, for completing the first stage. Our goal is to do this for the next 2 areas of Jamming Jungle, so let's get to it. Here we have more enemies, and holy crap, what is that thing? Apparently it's a mouse. I don't know what cheese this guy's been eating, but I think we need to put it out of its misery. I've put 2 bombs down, and I've trapped myself. Lovely. There goes Joey number 1. You will be missed, little dancing friend. Carrying on, we destroy a crystal and another robot, putting our score over 5,000. Popping the achievement, Beginner Score, for having over 5,000 points. And right after that, we grab our next achievement, Bomb Kick, for finding the kick bomb item. We test it out by blowing up the happiest snail I've ever seen in my life, and pick up another flame item to grab the achievement, Fire in the Hole, for maxing out our explosion power. We then head across the bridge, which, by the way, has always blown my mind at how smooth the animation is for it. No idea why, but I've just always thought it was super neat. We destroy a crystal, another snail, a robot carrying a crystal on its head by using some connecting explosions, and then collect the piece of spirit picture to move on to the next stage. In Area 1-3, we have some more creepy mice, some robots, and a couple of crystals, and we can find some more bombs and open up the door to the next area. The final area of Jamming Jungle. As we fly through and take everything out, I grab another achievement. Somebody settles the bomb, for having the max amount of bombs at one time. As I'm clearing the area, hey, I found another Joey, and it's the best one. The purple Joey can jump, meaning as long as we time it, jumping over explosions and enemies is no problem. After grabbing the last piece of spirit picture, it's time for a boss fight. What could it be? A giant bomber robot? An evil Bomberman maybe? Nope, our first boss is a monkey controlling a banana. The way the arena is set up here is the same for each boss fight in the game, and also the multiplayer, which we will get to in just a little bit. The best strategy here is to take out the monkey, while avoiding the giant giant banana. If we do that, then we can take out both at the same time. The banana blows up and the monkey's ass gets set on fire, and it runs into a wall and pops our next achievement, Banana Split, for clearing every stage in Area 1 and defeating the Jamming Jungle boss in a single session. Nice! We move Jamming Jungle back into its correct spot and jump into our spaceship. It's time for a new area with fresh music, enemies, and a crazy boss, and that's Vexing Volcano. We have ginger birds, robots that shoot fire which can make our bombs explode instantly, and what I imagine Geodude would look like as a baked potato. Destroying the blocks gets us our next item and achievement, Speed Up, for collecting the first speed power up. Now that we are moving a bit faster, we can clear up areas super fast to grab our first spirit. Area 2-2 brings a new enemy, these little red guys. When they see something they like, they instantly run into them. Unfortunately, the thing they like is instant death, but it's all good news for us as we get our next achievement, High Score, for getting 20,000 points. And right after that, we pick up an extra life to pop the achievement 1 Up, for having a total of 4 lives. Clearing my way through, we find the third Joey of the game, the yellow one. This one can kick blocks out of the way, making it super useful for getting through areas or trapping enemies, including this legit Ring of Fire enemy. In the next section, there is an active volcano. It shoots up lava that drops down from the sky. If it hits our bombs, it will instantly blow them up, and if it hits us, it will spin us out. So now we gotta avoid the lava, as well as killing all of the enemies and destroying all the crystals. With so much going on, I accidentally lost the yellow Joey, but I avenged him by clearing out the entire area. The next area was split into sections. For clearing out this first section, we open the door into this huge section, which means there's plenty of items to grab, and by searching, we find the clock item, unlocking the achievement Stopping Time, for collecting the clock item and stopping time. Our bombs still work, but all the enemies are frozen. I can't really question the logic here, as I'm literally putting the planet back together by kicking it into place. In the next stage, I find possibly the best item in the game alongside the Joeys, and that's the remote bomb. For picking it up, we get the achievement Remote Bomb. Now, I am in full control. Instead of waiting 3 seconds for the bombs to explode, I can now explode them whenever I feel like it. I took a minecart ride, found another yellow Joey, and started to rack up a ton of points. Speaking of points, we popped the achievement Bomber Score, for getting a total of 50,000 points. Beating the final stage got us into our next boss fight. It's a pyramid with giant hands. It chases us around and we have to hit it with 6 bomb blasts in order to defeat it. Apart from the jumping it does to stun us, with our remote bomb upgrade, getting the 6 hits was a piece of cake. Getting us the achievement Pyramid Blocked, for clearing every stage in Area 2 and defeat the Vexing Volcano boss in a single session. Now don't worry if these boss battles look a bit too easy right now. Things will change up super fast as we go. There is a reason I've not beaten this game for 25 years. We push Vexing Volcano back into place and then head to the next area, Slamming Sea, and here is where the difficulty starts going up a bit. As soon as we enter, I find the next Joey, the blue Joey. This little guy can kick bombs. Very useful if you don't have the bomb kick ability already. Also useful as he can kick the bombs over blocks. Here our enemies are a squid/eel shooting electricity, a walking starfish, a robot that takes 2 hits to destroy, a submarine that can actually dive, so we have to wait for it to pop back up, and it also requires 2 hits to destroy, and of course, the crystals that we need to blow up. The next stage brings a walking crab and a very slow moving fish. And speaking of slow moving, once in a while, this game's frames can drop like crazy, because there's so much going on the screen. You will see this get much worse later on. While making our way through the stage, we find our next new item, and pop the achievement All In, for getting the bomb line item. This item allows us to place every bomb that we have in front of us in a line. I always avoid using this item though, as most of the time I end up blowing myself up with it. Clearing the next part of the stage, we find another item to get the Invincible Suit achievement, for taking the invincible suit and enjoying its effects for a couple of moments. I sped through Area 3-3, picking up a couple of extra lives and taking out all of the enemies. In Area 3-4, the stages were getting smaller, but with more enemies. Luckily, I've not died yet, so I still have all of my power-ups, and you know what's going to help with that? Our next achievement, 2 hearts, given for taking the extra heart item. Now, I can get damaged once without worrying about dying instantly. I cleared up the rest of Slamming Sea with no problems and got to the boss room. It's a giant crab this time. This crab actually scares me, and it's pretty tough to fight. It shoots bubbles which can affect your bombs and make them super weak, and even though it moves slow, once in a while, it gets a huge speed boost while chasing you. The worst part, after you have hit it a bunch, it sheds its skin, and oh my god, that's disturbing, and it's coming right for me. One of its bubbles trapped me, and it ran into me, getting rid of the extra heart that we grabbed earlier on. But after a couple of extra bombs, I killed it, popping the achievement Roast Crab, for clearing every stage in Area 3 and defeat the Slamming Sea boss in a single session. We push Slamming Sea back into place and head to Cranking Castle, and now we have to be super careful, as we only have one heart. Cranking Castle throws bats and jumping robots at us. The bats are similar to the fish in Slamming Sea, where they can travel over blocks. Moving up, we dodge a new motorcycle enemy and grab another new power-up to pop the achievement Bomb Walker. This item allows us to walk through our bombs, which is great. Normally without Bomb Kick, you can trap yourself very easily with the bombs, so being able to walk through them is super nice. In the next section, the only extra enemy is a bird with absolutely massive eyes. Bro can see the future, and our future has some bad times ahead. He can also see you guys subscribing to the channel, so thank you for that. Two new enemies up next. We have what I've always called Dragonite and Lil Boo. Dragonite flies up into the sky, so you have to wait for him to come back down to hit him twice, and Lil Boo can also travel through blocks. I speed through a few more sections, and the game must be sensing my speed, as the next Joey I got was the green one. This guy has super speed. Very useful, but also very easy to mess up and get him killed. And I mess up and get him killed. After clearing all 4 areas, it's time for our next boss battle against this giant ass bat. Alright, he can fly. Not too bad. He's now moving his wing. What was that bullshit? He insta-killed me. That big-eyed bird was right. Bad times were ahead, and it's happening right now. Up to now, I've been flying through the game, but here is where I hit my first problems. For the life of me, I could not get this bat. The special move he does with his wing and the projectiles, I just couldn't dodge. Now that I've died once, I've also lost all my special abilities. I keep my bombs and power, but everything else like Kick Bomb and Bomb Walker all goes away. I watched as my 9 lives fell all the way down to 0. You can put a password in to continue from the world we are currently at, but the achievements we are after require us to beat the boss in a single session. So it's time to start again. But it's not all doom and gloom. As we go back through the game, I can pick up some extra achievements that we missed out on, like Controlled by Monkey, for defeating both first bosses. If we defeat the banana first and then the monkey, this achievement pops for us. As we got back to Slamming Sea, we find a brand new item, the Wall Walker, which popped the achievement Wall Walker. And what can we do? Walk through walls, of course. After an hour of getting through the game again, we find ourselves back at the Cranking Castle boss. And of course, I do it first time. I swear it always happens. Take a break if you are struggling with something, because every single time, you'll do it first time. We get the achievement Bomber Belmont for clearing every stage in Area 4 and defeating the Cranking Castle boss in a single session. Finally, Cranking Castle can be moved into place and we make our way to the final piece of the world, Thrashing Tundra. What is this thing? I feel like his name is Bert. We also have another fire robot. Let's kill Bert. Oh my god, there's loads of baby Berts, and they're all dead. Some other enemies here are Missile Bird, Chicken Nugget, Helicopter, and Ice Skaters. Next, we find an item that only appears on stage 5-2 and pops the achievement Another Boot Upgrade for getting the sandal item on stage 5-2. Not gonna lie, I had no idea what this item did while playing, but looking it up now, it just slows you down. So maybe if you pick up too many speeds, this could be helpful, but yeah, I didn't really notice anything. Moving on, I found another life upgrade to pop the achievement Pump 9 Lives for having 9 lives at one time. One of my favourite bits of Thrashing Tundra is the igloos. If you place a bomb in the centre, it blows the top off it. Simple, but very satisfying. We also have this little cowboy tomato guy who jumps over explosions, so you have to trick him into being killed by another explosion. The only part of Thrashing Tundra that I struggled with was this section. Super tiny and tons of enemies, so I had to think on my feet. Here, I lost another heart and ended up dying a few times. You can really see the lag here once the robot starts shooting fire. But I managed to make it through to the boss of Thrashing Tundra. This is just Jinx from Pokemon with a weapon, and honestly, easiest boss of the entire playthrough so far. But little did I know, this was just the calm before the storm. I take out Jinx, earning the achievement Break the Ice for clearing every stage in Area 5 and defeating the Thrashing Tundra boss in a single session. We put the final piece of Planet Bomber back together, but now it's time to deal with the person who caused this mess in the first place, and we make our way to an artificial comet. Throughout the story mode, we have been finding lots of robot enemies, and here is why. This place is full of them. We got missile birds and chicken nugget robots, a bunch of upgrades to grab, and a ton of stages to run through to make it to the final boss. And these final stages are no joke. We have flying robots that I had to dodge by placing bombs at my feet just to avoid getting hit. Skull blocks that are super powerful and blow up every direction. Between the amount of lag due to the sheer amount of enemies on the screen, different kinds of enemies that made me actually have to think about my bomb placements, enemies with even more health, including these boxing robots that take 3 hits to destroy, speed boosters that can potentially launch me into enemies, and I ended up dying a couple of times, meaning I'm going into this final boss fight with little to no upgrades. Lovely. Time for the final boss. And here is the reason that I've not finished this game for 25 years. Just getting this far is crazy for me. I don't even remember what this final boss looks like. His name is Bagura, and his first phase is these flying robots around him that shoot lasers. Straight away, I die. These lasers are no joke. We have 6 lives left. After a couple of explosions, I managed to destroy the red robots and pop the achievement to Bagura for defeating the first form of Dr. Bagura. What do you mean first form? That's a dragon. Oh no, that's a dragon and I only need to hit the dragon. Somehow, on my first try, I managed to defeat the dragon by hitting it 5 times to pop the achievement Dragon Bagura for defeating the second form of Dr. Bagura. And it's not over. Welcome to phase 3, bitches. Here is where everything goes wrong and why I have always struggled finishing this game. It's now a 1v1, Bomberman versus Bomberman. Only he can fly, throw crazy fast bombs wherever he wants that have insane explosions, and he can also kick bombs. This is actually insane, and this boss is so fast. I'm having trouble just working out where the bombs are gonna fall. This bomb in the bottom right corner is delayed, which makes me panic and run into this explosion. 1 life down. And yep, once you die, it's time to do all 3 phases again, back to back. It took me almost the rest of my lives just to defeat the first phase again. And at the dragon phase, yeah, no wonder I couldn't do this as a kid. This is so difficult. Luckily, we can just continue, but the only problem with that is that we only start with 1 bomb and have to travel through all the final stages again just to get to the final boss. There are upgrades to help us out along the way, but I have to think on my feet to avoid the enemies until I have more bombs, firepower, joeys, and literally anything I can grab until I made it back to the boss, and of course, got my ass handed to me yet again. Not gonna lie, I rage quit, and for the next couple of days, I kept jumping on to see if I could finally beat him, and I started getting so sick of just being defeated. So you know what? Let's have some fun instead. It's time to start the multiplayer achievements. To this day, I love this multiplayer mode. You can play with up to 4 players, and you can do 5 rounds. You can choose different characters, and there are a total of 10 different maps to play. So let's set up to get the achievements. We need to win games against 3 CPUs with 3 rounds or more. I choose the characters I always do when I'm playing alone, with the CPUs. I'm Cowboy Cool, we have Bomber Girl, Big Red, and Lil Green. And it's only up until making this video that I found out that these characters actually have personalities and proper names. I've just always called them these made up names since I was a kid. And as for the personalities, they all play different to one another, which is crazy that I've never known that before. Time for the first stage. This is the most standard stage of the multiplayer. Just straightforward Bomberman with no stage hazards. In multiplayer, there's actually an extra item that we don't have in single player, and that's the skull item. The skull item is a virus that gives you effects like slowdown, speed up, weak bombs, fast bombs, swap places with another player, and no bombs. So for multiplayer, they really spice things up. And if you walk into another player while infected, you can pass it along. Now, not to toot my own horn, but I'm sick of playing this multiplayer. With the amount of times I've played alone against the CPUs over the years, I've become great at taking them on. I don't know if that's a little sad or not. Anyway, it means that I find these battles a breeze. Sometimes the CPUs are a little dumb, and sometimes I'm a little dumb. And right here, we all died, meaning a draw game. If the timer gets down to 30 seconds, then the stage will start to drop blocks to close you in to try and force a win in a smaller area. Look at this. I know how this CPU is gonna act and predict his bomb placement to trap him and win the round. You will see me use this strat quite a lot. Because of how much I love playing this mode, for the first game, I went for 5 wins instead of 3 to pop the achievement Nostalgic Bombing Grounds for winning a free-for-all game on the first battle map against 3 CPUs, which must be a first to 3 or higher. So for the rest of the battle maps, I'll be doing up to 3 wins. And speaking of the other maps, our next one is a sea stage, another standard map with the slamming sea aesthetic. Apart from a crazy match against Bomber Girl here, I got the 3 wins needed to pop the achievement 20,000 bombs under the sea. Up next is the conveyor belt map. As more of the stage is destroyed, these arrows start to appear, and if we stand on them or place a bomb on them, it heads in that direction. This map is fun but difficult, as you always need to keep your eyes on the whole map to predict the explosions. Winning 3 games got us the achievement Moving Around on Pins and Needles. Battle map number 4 is a flower stage. Nothing crazy on this one, just some good old fun to grab the achievement, planting your traps effectively. Penguins with Missiles is our next map. Once in a while, these rockets will strike the stage, and of course, we have the igloo in the center to pop the lid, and also pop the achievement Chilling Out with Rockets. Moving on, I've just found out that this map is called Europe. The blocks are made out of bread, and we have little white arrows. If we kick bombs towards them, they head in that direction, so you can catch people off guard on this map. We get the achievement Citizens of Detonation Nation for winning this one. My absolute favorite map is up next. This is the Hyrule Temple of Mega Bomberman, the ancient castle. There are 4 trapdoors, and each one you walk into will send you to the next one. You can place bombs inside them, and you have to predict when people are going to pop up out of the trapdoors. I've spent hours playing this map with friends. It's just great fun. And what's also great is this achievement: explosions during trapdoor escapades, for winning all 3 rounds. Our next battle map is probably the hardest battle map of the set. There are 0 blocks, and everybody starts with max bombs and power, so it's just insane from the very start. I actually had some difficulty with this one, but still managed to pull away the win by getting the achievement High Power Nonsense. The CPUs are absolutely crazy on this next one. The map gives you super speed, and look at how unfair it is once the blocks start to clear. The way they move with a bit of speed is crazy, and placing my own bombs would result in accidentally dropping 2 at the same time due to the amount of speed. After a couple of fails, I managed to grab the 3 trophies, unlocking the achievement Running Around at the Speed of Smiles. Amazing reference. The final battle map is actually my least favourite. We are in the water, and most of the map is covered by these bushes, meaning you can get blown away without ever knowing that a bomb was placed down. But after some time, I won, getting the Waterlogging Your Tools of War achievement. Now, we only have 2 more achievements left. One final multiplayer achievement, and then the final boss achievement. For the final multiplayer achievement, I have to win 5 rounds against the CPU, but it's a 3 versus 1. I had to put on the best battle map for this one, and honestly, I love this achievement. I've always done free-for-all games. It's never occurred to me to try out a 1 versus 3, or even just the standard tag matches. I loved every second of aiming for this achievement. Between all the kills, deaths, and crazy moments, I managed to finally get the achievement Scott Bomber versus the World, for winning a tag match with a team of 1 human against 3 CPUs on any battle map, up to 5 wins. Alright, back to hell. The multiplayer achievements have definitely helped me get warmed up for the final stages. With the lag on most of these stages due to the amount of enemies, it took me 20 whole minutes to reach the final boss fight each time, and for the next few hours, I attempted this fight over and over. My strat for the first phase is to walk forward and go in the opposite direction, to destroy all of his laser robots in 2 turns. For the dragon phase, I figured out that staying on the bottom line avoided the dragon's fire, and as for this crazy electric beam move, standing next to the spot he fires and moving back and forth between the 4 shots made it a breeze. And now, it's time to figure out this final boss. And what was my solution to this after 25 years? Keep pausing the game. Look, I'm not proud, but it's a button on the controller that I'm allowed to use, and having a brief second to see where these bombs land was the only way I could get past this part. And after finishing up 5 whole areas, 5 annoying bosses, tons of enemies, deaths, fun moments, frustrating moments, and 25 years of playing this game, I hit the boss 5 times to finally pop the achievement Super Bagura for defeating Bagura's final form, and finally mastered Mega Bomberman for the Mega Drive. Kid me would be proud. If you want to know the next game I'm gonna master, all you have to do is subscribe. Thanks for watching.